NewsNation's Alicia Nieves joins us live from New York City, one of the cities nationwide on higher alert this morning ahead of all the celebrations. Alicia, New York will be on fire this weekend, but cops want to make sure everyone stays safe.
Yeah, we're expecting thousands of officers, multiple law enforcement agencies from the NYPD to Homeland Security to counterterrorism. It's quite early this morning, so we're not seeing a ton of police presence here along the Hudson River where the fireworks display will actually happen. Just have a barrier up and some officers walking around. But again, that is all going to change in the next couple of hours as we start to ready up for this big celebration. One of the biggest fireworks displays around the country, right? It'll happen here, if you're familiar with New York, along the West Side Highway. That's the first time in about a decade that we've seen that. What you're watching now is from the east side of Manhattan, what we saw last year. And we're told from officers in the NYPD that while there's going to be an intense police presence, during this year's fireworks display, there is no credible threat to the city, but they will be on the lookout for any suspicious activity. And that's because you're going to see around 2 million spectators here for the 4th of July spectacular. The NYPD says it's going to have 6,000 officers on duty for this. And this is really the case across the country, right? If we move over to Boston, for example, officials there also on alert for kind of the massive firework display at the annual Boston Pop Spectacular. Hundreds of thousands of people expected there at that event as well. And the Massachusetts State Police say that their plans include investigative, tactical, and intelligence resources that can respond to any situation at a moment's notice. If we go kind of where you're at right now, Nick, to Chicago, 1,500 officers, we're told, have been added in Chicago to watch out for any threats there. The biggest crowds, as I'm sure you're aware of, expected to be at the city's famous Navy Pier. And then if we move a little south to our nation's capital, we're told that hundreds of thousands of people are going to be on the National Mall, as they are every year, while authorities have in place kind of road closures already, watercraft restrictions, and absolutely, we're told, no drones. The biggest concern, something you and Max talked about a few moments ago, is really the temperatures. We're expecting to see a heat index of around 100 degrees, which if you're not hydrated and you're in a crowd, that can be dangerous. So authorities are going to watch out for that, as well as any other threats there.
And Alicia, we talked about the Midwest and the East Coast, but I understand that out west, there are also security concerns too, right?
Yeah, I mean, every city across the country, certainly every major city across the country, there are concerns and elevated kind of, police presence. However, if we look to cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, the threat there and the real concern there is illegal fireworks, not only for people, obviously, using them and potentially getting injured, but because of those temperatures that we talked about a moment ago and the dry kind of hot temperatures there, it could lead to wildfires. We've already seen kind of some of that happen along the West Coast and the West Coast dealing with some of that. So a big concern about fireworks and the weather there.
Alicia Nieves, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.